this morning. I was like, oh, crap, I have to send an outline. And then I remembered, wait, it's EdMar and Pat. They're not going to read it anyway. So it was a nice relief. So thank you guys for being you. I appreciate it.
Thank you for the outline.
Yeah, I'm sure no one reached out like, hey, where's the outline?
No.
No.
Okay, so I'll get started now. It's April 22nd, 2020, and you're listening to the Beer Temple Insiders Roundtable. Hit it, Randy. Sing the song.
I got it.
Okay.
Oh, wait, I forgot the words.
Remember, this is what we wanted. Remember, this is what we said. To never be heard, a scene from again.
Remember when you were a cholo? Remember when you had some fun?
Yeah.
Remember when you could be there? Is that the song?
Yeah, that's the song. Okay. Hi, and welcome to the Beer Temple Insiders Roundtable, another special social distancing episode, our second like that. The first one got a very good response, so thank you guys. I want to thank all you guys who tuned in to the first episode that we did from our quarantine, our stay in place that we had with, Randy, Crabtree, Doug Valicki, and Dan Pichet. We're going to do it again. So it's going to be a little bit different, but I appreciate you guys bugging me for some more content. And I think it's kind of cool that we can tell everybody what it's like from, I guess, an industry standpoint, as far as, well, at least from the unique positions that everyone is in themselves. But before I do that, I want to thank Lumpen Radio, as always, for having us on, although I'm not in Studio B. But I still want to thank all those folks, especially Jamie Trecker and the fearless leader himself, Mr. Logan Bay. And as I said before, thank you guys. If you enjoy the show, it's always nice to leave a comment or a review. We appreciate that. But we're going to get right into it. I will get to my guests. I will mention that their opinions are their own. That has not changed. They don't reflect the opinions of Lumpen Radio or the Beer Temple or anything else other than themselves. So we'll get to it. We're going to go in order of seniority, and we've got a pretty senior-laden show. I mean, this is like AARP of Beer Temple Insiders Roundtable in terms of like senior members. I'm talking, not age, because the only seniority I care about is how many times you've been on. And I mean, you've probably been on 65 or more times, Mr. EdMar. How you doing, man? How you holding up?
You know, you mentioned 65, and that's about the age I'm approaching right now. I feel like I'm definitely in my mid-60s, entering retirement.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, I'm doing pretty well. I am bemoaning the fact that I'm on the phone from like 8 to 9 hours a day.
Tell me that, man. That is nuts.
And constantly juggling, talking to my brother, talking to my family members, talking to the people who are working at Mars. And of course, I foolishly started 2 new projects during the quarantine.
You started them during the quarantine.
Yeah, right. Yeah, we started.
That's a good idea.
We started this thing called the Quarantine Times. It's a website in which we ask different artists and hospitality industry workers, people from different creative fields, to contribute a text or a piece of art or a post each day of the week. And our nonprofit provides them with a stipend in order to help them pay for their bills.
It's amazing.
Yeah, we used some of our budget that we had for art shows and exhibitions that we couldn't open up over the next few months because of what happened. And we partnered up with some people and we've been asking for donations to help fund artists. So it's pretty incredible. And with that, of course, Co-Prosperity Sphere and the site of the Lumpen radio station also is shut down. Everyone's doing stuff remotely, right?
Mm-hmm.
But one of the things we just started launching this week was a whole live Twitch channel. So live streaming concerts, talks,
Really?
DJs, all kinds of stuff are happening. So we, and of course, all the things we did with Mars, and of course, the things happening at Maria's and
Yeah.
Kimski have all changed. We've pivoted our business models, which we could talk about shortly. But anyways, I've been really, really busy with all these projects.
I mean, that's unbelievable. So
Yeah.
So I get it that the quarantine times is the first one.
Yeah,
And
quarantinetimes.org.
Okay, and then
And when that project finishes, we'll print everything that was in the Quarantine Times in a book to chronicle what happened.
Okay, that's awesome.
Yeah, there's a book involved too. Yeah, if we ever could actually see each other and pick up pieces of paper again.
Right.
Yeah, and the Lumpen Radio Twitch is
I think
the
print
live
is
concert.
set to make a huge comeback when this is all over, Ed. So it's good that you're getting in on print. So,
Yeah, but Chris, this relates to us here right now, right? We're
Yeah.
doing this kind of remote broadcast.
Yeah.
I'm going to figure out how to stream this live at your slot on Thursdays over the air
that's
and on
amazing.
our Twitch Lumpen Radio station. So
Yeah, so the Twitch station is cool too, and you're just putting on whoever wants to be on.
well, much like we organize our publications and other editorial projects, we have a series of editors and curators.
Mm-hmm.
And for the Lumpen Twitch thing, we've partnered up with Experimental Sound Studio, kind of like art, media, music space and nonprofit organization. They curate shows almost every day of the week, and now we're going to be acting as a second stage for them, putting on more shows, and also co-hosting their live concerts once a week. We're working with our own group of people here at Lumpen Radio for shows. So some Lumpen DJs have started putting their shows on live on the Twitch channel.
That's cool.
Then we have a group out of LA. We're partnering up with other organizations and venues and stuff. But so like on Sunday nights, there's a local promoter, Drew Ryan, who does a thing called Neobeat, which was his electronic music series featuring Chicago, musicians, and that's every Sunday. So every night of the week will be a different thing.
That's awesome. We're keeping
Sponsored by Mars.
You found a way during quarantine to keep overly busy. So that's to remain overly busy. So
which is a strategy, Chris, to keep me from dealing with this other reality that we're in.
Oh, believe me, I've realized that I do the same thing. I was talking to somebody at one point, and they're like, well, yeah, maybe you keep doing so many things because you are just completely scared out of your mind when you actually sit and think about what's going on. That's actually.
Well, obviously, we're all trying to help each other and our family and our employees and everything through this time. And obviously, one of our things that we do here is we support so many different communities as a nonprofit, as our brewery, our the family bar. It's all the same thing. So how do we do that while we're socially distanced, right?
Right.
So that's nothing new.
Yeah.
Except now I kind of know what's happening in the space every night, as opposed to most days I have no clue what's going on at the Co-Prosperity Sphere. I'm sure, Pat, you've been in when you've seen beautiful portraits of Spock and Kirk making out and fucking each other.
Very veiny is how I would describe those paintings.
Yeah.
Veiny.
Multifaceted.
It was gross. Yeah.
Spock.
By the way, Ed, you just dropped the F-bomb. A very important question, Chris. Can we curse then?
Yeah. You can say
fucking
whatever.
right.
Can right now.
Right, good.
We can on this broadcast.
Yes.
Right.
Fucking good. All right.
You're
Well,
in. So that's a nice segue.
Are we putting this up on the Lumpen Radio?
Well, Jamie, that's Jamie's. Fuck him.
Are you going to give
better
it
better have his fucking
Not this show.
hand on the fucking beat machine. That's all I'm saying.
A lot of beeping.
Let me see if I can do that. There we go. There we go. Oh, no.
Oh, look at that shit.
Here, maybe I can get a better one. Here, we'll do that. Maybe it's gotta be off to the side. I'm blocking it too well. There we go. So Mr. Pat Berger, what's up with you, man?
Same shit as everyone else.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's terrible.
Yeah, it's terrible. It's
how you doing?
We're doing okay. I feel I guess, I don't feel I feel fortunate in a way because I feel like some people have it a lot worse than me.
Yeah.
Have less things to kind of fall back on. I mean, one thing that was crazy is we were so diversified as a company in some ways that it was bad that I wasn't able to fully focus on any one thing, which keeping in what Ed talked about, that's kind of that strategy. But now when, 4 of my, income streams dry up, I can still go to the 5th, 6th and start, revamping up the 7th. And it's been nice. Of course, it's crazy, but I do in a way feel, I'm lucky compared to some. So, yeah, I mean, it's rough. I mean, honestly, I think about, we ordered food from Patty's
I heard.
last Saturday.
Thank you.
Yeah. Or
Yeah, I
Saturday
appreciate it.
previous to that. Yeah. You heard?
I heard your lovely wife was in. Yeah, she was wearing a Beer Temple hoodie.
Oh, yeah.
Got to represent.
Shit travels fast, man,
I know.
Got right back to me. Beer Temple was in.
Right?
Thank you.
You're welcome. I gotta
I
get
know.
those curry fries.
Yeah, man.
But,
You delivered to
And-
Bridgeport, Pat?
yeah.
For you, I will.
For real? All right, great. I'll tip your driver well.
Text me. It'll probably be me.
Yeah, right.
Okay. I'll trade you some CBDs.
That CBD coffee was very good, by the way.
Yeah. Tokyo Drift.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Yes. We'll
Yeah, I liked
hook
it.
up. We'll hook up. I might be driving up there. I'll drop some off.
No worries.
So, my next guest is a repeat guest, something we don't do very often. So you went from first-time guest to I don't know. We've probably had repeats. I mean, Ed doesn't count.
Ed's a repeat,
Probably
yep.
5-peated.
Yeah.
He's like the Michael Jordan of it. I mean, he's done multiple 3-peats. But Mr. Randy Crabtree of many things, including the Beer Temple. But I wanted to have Randy on again. You got some positive feedback last time, Randy. So congrats on that.
Seems pretty obvious.
Yeah. I can mute you whenever I want. Don't forget.
Believe me, I know that. Well, thanks for having me on. Thanks for having me on repeat too. I can't keep up with what Ed's doing and his schedule, but I'm just trying to stay busy to keep things going. A lot of PPP loan work, not only for the Beer Temple, but for friends and family and clients that I've kept in touch with for years. So it's been a crazy time.
That's probably a good place to start, right? I mean, I think people are probably interested in how we're doing. That's the one question I get asked from customers and just people, not even customers, just industry. People are like, hey, how you doing? And you're like, oh, good. And, people still say that all the time. But then I'm getting like the kind of pause. How are you doing? Like they really want to know how we're doing, which is very nice. So I figured we could talk about that a little bit and maybe what we're doing, what we're trying to do more than how we're doing. We could do that as well. But the big thing was this, the PPP, which stands for what, the Paycheck Protection Program or something?
Yeah, paycheck protection, payroll protection, I think, program.
Right. And that rolled out over the past couple weeks, and I've been hearing online and in person about some people getting it, some people did not. Show of hands, and a verbal show of hands. How many people have gotten? Well, if you applied for it, got a PPP loan? My hand is not up, I will say. You got yours.
Mars got a PPP.
You got it. Okay.
And
Patty
Pat, you
Long,
got it?
Randy.
Yeah.
Patty Long's got one. Kaiser Tiger did not.
Yeah, Maria's and Kimsky didn't get one either.
Now, do you know why you did or didn't get it for one or the other?
No, I mean they just ran out of money, man. And
They ran out of money. I've been hearing the bank you deal with had a lot to do with it as well.
Yeah.
You know, there were some banks that were really good at getting it going for their customers, and some banks just dragged their feet.
Our bank dragged their feet. I won't name them, but
Right.
the day before, I mean, I'm sure they knew a couple days in advance of like the general public, but by the time I knew that it was going to run out of money in the next day, I'm sure they already knew. And then 3 different bankers called me from that bank on that day, all trying to set me up. I tried to like in triplicate, and it took me a while to realize. By the 3rd time, I cut them off and was like, hey, I've already done this twice, but just the communication within the bank was just, I mean, I'm sure it's chaos, but
It's chaos. They never dealt with this before. You know, we submitted the night that the money ran out, and supposedly it even got submitted, but apparently not in time.
right, submitted, but we had our pre-application like
The day it opened.
the day it opened.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yep.
right. And then for weeks they sat on it and then called us the day it ran out. So,
Yep.
So we did not get that. But Ed, here's
let's talk about that PPP for a second.
Yeah, that's what I wanted. And that's what I was.
That is a yep.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't get it at Kaiser, but at the same time, did I really even want it? You know, I mean, just like all of us, just like Shake Shack, just like everybody, everyone was applying for everything. And that was the advice out there at the time, was apply for everything and then make your choices, you know? And I'll be honest, we didn't get a choice with the PPP at Patty Long's. It just ended up in our account,
Right.
you know, one day. I mean, I guess we could have withdrawn our application, but, you know, like it all was chaos. You know, and this PPP is not designed for restaurants, and it's not a grant. None of us are going to get this forgiven. I mean, maybe you are if you pay people to do nothing. Like if you give it a 75% of it away to your staff, I guess you could get it forgiven. But now a lot of us are looking at it going, well, man, I mean, I need this money to reopen now. You know, like I have this money at 1%, and I guess I could give it to my employees, who some of which would not want it because they are making more money on unemployment than I could really give them on this program. And so it's just a big mess. It's basically a loan. It's at 1%. The longer we're closed, the more we're all going to need every cent of this money to keep our doors, you know, to be able to open our doors when that time comes.
Yeah.
And
You know,
go ahead.
go ahead. No, you go ahead.
I was going to say it's a 1% loan, but it's a 2-year amortization, or you got to pay that back in 2 years. So it's really,
Right.
even if it doesn't become a grant, it's still not going to help a lot. The EI.
Yeah, what happens? Do you know what happens when you don't pay it back? And when I don't pay it back in 2 years?
when one doesn't pay it back.
Yeah, somebody out there randomly doesn't pay it back.
What happens when I do that? I don't even know.
You know, guys, this whole PPP thing has been on my front door with a couple of friends out here, including Michael DeGioia, who I actually think I referenced to you, Chris, right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
He actually presented the results of his research today.
Can you explain who this gentleman is you're talking about?
Yeah, Mike DeGioia has his own he has his own media company where he does websites and consulting and stuff, and he also is a part manager of an event space called Assemblia, kind of like in the Grand and Ashland Avenue area. But he's been an old friend, and we've worked together forever on many projects. And when this was all going down, we kept talking about all the various loans and what to apply for and trying to understand the PPP. I mean, like you said, like all you guys said, Randy or Chris and Pat's, like they all said, just take the money. It's a low interest loan. Just get a line of credit. It's good to use. When we first heard about it, it was like, oh, there might be some forgiveness for it if you use it on your payroll at a certain percentage and all these things. And of course, we got it now. And anyways, Mike's been researching the thing for the past few weeks. And he has a bunch of great points, which I'd love to bring up right now, right? You guys kind of mentioned them. One of the facts is that there wasn't enough money in the program. The time frame is pretty short, Pat. You just mentioned it goes through June, and you don't need it now because many of our workers have unemployment and they make more than they actually did when they worked for us.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
There wasn't enough outreach about how it actually worked prior to it, during it, even now. There's not enough flexibility for the usage of that money. And now, of course, banks are adding their own ad hoc rules to limit the loans. It doesn't really provide enough liquidity for our businesses. And as you know, like many of us will need a year or more to rebound from what's been happening to us, right? So specifically, there's only 2.5 months of the money. It has to be used by June 30th. 75% must be used on employees. So for a company like us, we had 40 employees and now we're at 9. I'm supposed to hire them all back by June 30th, and we may not be able to open to the public, nor do I think I want to, knowing how this curve is happening here in Illinois. So what's going to happen if we did use the money by June 30th or prior to that? We most likely have to lay everyone off again, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
And we need like about 6 to 18 months just to get back to breaking even, if not some sort of profitability, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, there's solutions to it. And they just passed another bill today, right? They should have allowed us to use that money in a more flexible way. They should have allowed us to, have a short-term furlough of employees and keep the unemployment benefits in place for them. We should have extended the loan to maybe 5 years. Should allow up to 2 years to apply for forgiveness based on employment compared to like February of, last month in 2 years.
Right.
There's all kinds of other things we could have done to try to like maybe fix this. And hopefully there's still a chance in the future to do so. These guys met with some congressional leaders today in Illinois and presented these findings. But yeah, I mean, right now, all I have, what Pat and I have, is a low interest loan. It helps us like a credit line to keep us going if we need to tap into it. We're not sure. We're not sure how to use the money, but I feel obligated to use the money since we got the goddamn money. So I'm going to use the money and see how many people we could bring back.
Yeah.
There's a couple things out there that. So are you guys, Pat or Ed, tied in with the National Restaurant Association at all?
Yeah, I am. Yeah.
Because they're big lobbyists, obviously, and they've been pushing hard to change these rules. I don't know what you guys think of them either way, but I've been following them a little bit, and they're trying to get this fixed. No idea if it will or what can happen or if they can get the next package to help restaurants and bars and tap rooms and everything more. I have no idea if that's out there, but they're trying at least that's what I've seen. And I wanted to say this before I forgot because I meant to say it last show. There's a local guy in Chicago, Josh Lance. I don't know if you guys are familiar with him. He's a CPA, but he's got the Slack channel where he's just constantly putting out information on the PPP loan and the EIDL and the everything that's potentially out there and giving great advice. He does a ton of work with craft breweries. So if anybody wants to get some good information, you could contact him and he could put you on that Slack channel because he's pretty knowledgeable on what's going on. So 2 things that I just wanted to not forget to say.
Yeah. And the Brewers Guild, is also trying to provide some advice. But unfortunately, a lot of the polling they've been doing has brought some really grim statistics to mind. They just recently posted a thing, I think last week, Brewbound and a number of other beer journalism outlets reported the fact that up to 60% of craft breweries will be out of business this summer if we don't return to some sort of sense of normalcy or provide any relief to these breweries.
Yeah. And what was that based on?
It was based on a survey of like 300 to 500 different breweries who responded to the survey, who shared their feelings and how long they could last given the conditions of the COVID-19 shutdown and the self-quarantine thing. Because, people don't know this. I mean, most people don't even know that, restaurants, breweries, tap rooms, et cetera, your costs are pretty high to run and your margins are not that great. And especially for brew pubs and, and the whole on-premise thing. I mean, you kind of rely on that income to keep chugging along and provide that income to pay your mortgage, pay your lease, pay your, you probably put a lease out on your equipment as well. But one interesting fact I thought about, Chris, and I was thinking about Michael Roper and a bunch of other publicans like yourself, Pat. if anything, the COVID-19 has actually stopped the competition for brew pubs and tap rooms with your businesses.
Oh yeah, thought about that too.
Yeah, I'm glad we fucked you all so much by not ordering any beer because we're not open.
Yeah.
Right.
Sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, you're not serving any beer? You're not selling beer when you're out of Patty's or Kaiser?
I mean,
Kaiser's completely shut. Patty's is, yeah, I mean, we're selling what beer we had there, but it's not like flying out of the door. You know, I can't.
You're allowed to sell packaged goods now.
I always was. I had a tavern license, but it's not a thing. I mean, I'm selling food, you know, but no, it's not like I've suddenly become a liquor store.
Right, and also people don't also know that any of the restaurants or bars or anyone open right now, the amount of income coming in from deliveries and pickup is so low that it's not a sustainable thing for most businesses.
for most places, yeah.
No way. Yeah.
Yeah.
No.
But yeah, I mean, I thought that was like a funny, horrible, funny joke. I thought I could put on you guys and felt kind of flat.
No.
Yeah, I know. All I'm
I
hearing
thought
about
about it too, man.
the hardships of the brew pubs. Oh, like I fucking.
But you know, it is kind of fascinating to me. You know, obviously Argus just went under, or he just closed it.
Could you just mention that real quickly for someone who's listening who may not know?
Argus Brewery opened up like 10 years ago. It was one of the first craft breweries, actually first wave almost, or second wave in Illinois. They're based in the Pullman neighborhood of Chicago on the south side, and they located their brewery in a former Stroh's stable.
Schlitz.
Schlitz stable, where it was a stable for the horses that would carry all the barrels and product to bars all over the city of Chicago. And they've gone through some ups and downs. They hired a brewer a couple years ago, 3-4 years ago. I forgot his name, a legend in brewing who won all kinds of awards.
Ted Furman.
Yeah, and he's a great brewer. But Argus was always one of those breweries that was not like a superstar brewer, not like a hot brewery in a sense, but they are making beers, packaging them in 12-ounce bottles in 6-pack formats. They were doing
mostly draft, heavily draft,
and a lot of draft beer. Yeah.
They weren't making the hot styles. No Haze Boys out of there, or Pastry Boys, or whatever the fuck you make at Mars.
Yeah.
No, they were making like real beer. It was very good stuff, but they were hurting before the shutdown for sure. Yeah.
But if you're mainly draft, that's what's getting hurt the most, I'm assuming.
Yeah,
right
for
now?
sure.
You're right.
Yeah.
That had to be and they said they're actually going to sell. I mean, did they completely shut down now? So it's shut, and then they're going to sell after all this clears up. Okay.
Yeah, the facility is available for a turnkey solution.
Is that it? Okay.
Yeah.
Well, Ed. I was going to say, Ed, you don't have enough going on. You may as well get another one going. So.
Yeah, well, I'm supposed to open up a place on the north side, right, in Bucktown, Logan Square, and we are working on construction of that. Of course, I gave the go-ahead for our initial construction a few weeks before the shutdown.
Of course.
But I'm sitting there thinking, like, do I really believe anyone's going to be able to sit into a bar again, or a restaurant, for a year until we get a vaccine, or
right. No, you're right.
Or testing, or whatever the South Koreans are doing in terms of allowing people to go into places if they take their temperature and they do massive monitoring. I mean, they had to do electronic monitoring of every citizen for all that crap. I don't think we're going to do any of that here based on the kind of AstroTurf protests going on. No one's going to want to have Big Brother track them to see where they are when their virus spreads, right?
What is the whole? I've heard that saying. What is an AstroTurf?
Oh, it's when lobbying groups or rich fucks just fund people to go out and protest and give them a message.
Okay, I've been hearing that term.
You pay, and you influence a lot of ignorant people to go out and fake protest.
Got it.
But yeah, I mean, should I continue on and open up like a to-go place at a super high lease in the middle of Logan Square, Bucktown? I don't think so, right?
Right.
Or I don't know
yeah.
what to do. I have no clue what to do, you know? So it's a big conundrum for me. I mean, I'm just sitting on hold right now.
But think about this times however many people are having the same, conundrum as you, Ed. I mean, how many neighborhoods are not going to have that new business come in, let alone the ones that are going to shutter. I mean, that's going to happen as well.
Yep.
Absolutely. I mean, my initial cynical, shitty self was saying this entire thing is essentially just allowing a consolidation and monopolization.
Oh, I totally agree, Ed.
Of retail by these corporate chains at the expense of small businesses. And they're going to leverage and come out of this all shiny and happy and just kind of consolidate their market penetration, their market share, and just bury us.
I think they're hurting now, but I think everybody, if
they
you survive, you're going to be, stronger.
Yeah, they don't have any issues with access to capital and credit. They could issue debt. They could raise funds.
Right.
What debt are we going to issue, Chris? You want some futures in my video gaming prowess? You want to invest in my Twitch career as a Battlefield 5 superstar?
I've heard. I mean, some people are making millions of dollars a year on Twitch.
All right, Pat, I'll send you my prospectus.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm in.
Yeah. But yeah, so that's like where it's at. So, and then you talk to your friends and you see what's up. Like I'm getting, random text messages, from different brewers are like, how you doing? Like we're 50% down or we're 30, we're 70% down and we need to pick it up. And I feel very lucky. I feel so fortunate that our brewery is able to weather the storm despite losing 75% of our employees. We're able to continue to create product, brew product, make good stuff, and present some offerings to people who actually give a shit about us or want to drink our stuff. I mean, if it wasn't for small businesses like yourself, Chris, the liquor stores and hybrid shops like that, we would be in deep shit. Obviously, we also owe a big debt to like Benny's. Who knows what the hell they're doing. Foxtrot has picked up and just become the fucking like hipster fucking 7-Eleven. It's insane what they're doing in terms of supporting different brands and getting their product out there. I have to also say that because we also offer like those CBD seltzers and our shrub sodas and Tokyo Drift coffee with CBD and our regular coffee and our kombucha, we've been able to at least continue to sell those products in addition to our alcoholic products, right? And those types of things seem to be working as well as they were prior to the shutdown.
Yeah.
Hey, Ed, what's Foxtrot? Isn't that what?
Foxtrot is like almost like a .com with a retail thing. They were like a delivery service for curated products, and then they opened up these kind of boutique markets all over the city. So they're an unusual business in terms of like their funding came from basically startup funding, right? Almost like a .com type of funding in this delivery space. And they were able to open up those retail things as kind of like brand points, touch points for their customers. And also they just served as like a hipster 21st century bodega, right? They were just little small markets where people can get various products.
Very clean, very kind of sleek looking and modern.
Yeah, very well designed with an offering of beverages in every category, snack foods, ready to eat products, as well as pioneering the use of selling CBD gummies, masks, housewares and beauty care shit alongside wine and food and etc. So they're just it's very interesting business. I mean, I'm not sure what they're doing at their storefronts, how that business is, but I'm pretty sure the delivery application is doing pretty well. Only based on what I know they're selling of our product, right? They're ordering more than they ever have, and they're selling it, and we're very grateful for that. That's why I mentioned them alongside with Benny's and all the independent shops that have figured out how to pivot and present their products in the best way to the public, whether it's through curbside pickup, contactless pickup, delivery, etc. I mean, one of the horrible things we had to figure out, Chris, was delivery. I mean, you already knew how to do delivery. You were experienced doing that. Well, you did, right? And you
With
know how
corporate
horrible
stuff.
it is.
Yeah.
You know how horrible it is. Pat, you know how horrible it is. Like
I do now.
Yeah, I mean, people who are using Grubhub, Caviar, and all these different apps, they're taking 30% of all the money in every sale, right? And of course, their workers are treated like shit, etc. The people who drive for them are often the most exploited precarity workers in the nation.
And they're frontline workers too.
Of course, they're essential frontline people who, anyways.
Yeah.
The thing is, there is a system for delivery, and obviously all those companies are doing quite fine. Anyone in the delivery space is doing wonderful, whether it's Drizzly, whatever, Grubhub, etc. And of course, now what's happening because of the horror of these online kind of sales fronts, you have people who open up things like, is it Talk? There's new applications like Square, where now restaurants can use an online shopping cart and set up their own delivery app using the technology of these things to do the delivery, pick times, etc. So what's happened is that just to survive, just to stay afloat, just to stay open so you don't close and fucking lose your mind, people are adopting these new ways of providing delivery service. And like Pat, you said you're driving? The two James Beard award-winning chefs of last year, Beverly Kim and Johnny of Parachute and Wherewithal, are delivering their fucking food to their customers.
Wow.
All right?
Hey, look, man. I've been in this business 30 years, and, I've worked on myself all the way up to delivery boy.
Yeah.
Right?
It feels good.
Yeah, me too.
And
And me 3.
yeah, it's the worst. It's
You have to do it.
terrible. Yeah.
You have to do these things.
Yeah.
But the point is, right, it shows you that we're going to all these great lengths to ensure that we have a business, ensure that we can employ people. We already knew this money was, the relief funds were not going to help us. We already know they're trying to crush us, whatever, through accident or through opportunity, right? And it's obvious that we have to take this crisis as a portal, this pandemic portal, to make it an opportunity for our independent organizations and independent groups like us. So, I think the solidarity exists within our loose networks and stuff, right? But you see things like
we still need to get a piece of this, at this point, $700 billion pie that they're throwing out there, and I'm not giving up on that because, there's a lot of bailout money going on. I mean, literally, I don't even know the numbers anymore. I can't keep track, but first one was 350 billion and this one's 550 billion. And, not enough of that is going to small businesses.
Right.
I mean, plain and simple. And not enough of that is grants. It's a lot of it's loans. A lot of this is the government making money on us in this situation.
Yeah.
They've got us by the balls. And I'm not standing for that. And, I'm going to continue to write letters and talk to my representatives because, I feel like the government's looking at it like, look, someone's got to take a haircut here, and it can't be the big boys because then stocks fall. I'm just a restaurant. I'm just a barman. I don't know how. I don't understand all this shit. But, we're, I think, expendable in their eyes. They know that in 3, 4, 5 years, whatever the fuck it takes to come back, that there will be people to take our place, that there will be other entrepreneurs who've always dreamed of opening a restaurant or a brewery or a bar or a retail space or a florist or a barber shop or whatever the hell it is. And they know that someone will come and take our place in a few years, and they're right.
Yeah, they're right.
In the meantime, fuck them. I'm not letting our tax money go to saving everyone but us. I mean, I know there's not enough to save everybody. I know that, but small business accounts for a lot more than people realize in this country as far as our GDP goes.
Yeah,
and I don't want to throw out any numbers because I don't even know how to add. But
I have these numbers. There are 30.7 million small businesses that account for almost 60 million employees, Pat.
There you go.
And small businesses create 60 to 64% of all new jobs in any given year.
I'm telling we're on the ropes, man. We're on the ropes. Yeah. This is real. We're not going to make it out of this without some assistance, without some, I'm not even going to call it a handout because, all these motherfuckers have been getting money from the government. It's our money, by the way. We all pay it. Something needs to be done. We can't be shut down by the government and then ignored by the government when we say, hey, we didn't make any money for 3 months. Can you do something about that? And so far, they haven't done enough. They've done a few things. Some things are great, but it hasn't been enough. And we're in Illinois. Illinois is, as we know, doesn't have 2 nickels to rub together. And we're not getting anything from the state of Illinois, and we're getting even less from the city of Chicago. So I don't know. Something's got to happen, or we're going to lose. We're going to lose all the places everyone loves. It's plain and simple.
Yeah, it's going to be one monocultural fucking chain mall everywhere.
Well, not to go too far down this dystopian road, but I have a question.
Another beer,
for Randy. This next round of funding is going to have a big capital gains tax cut in it, right?
Oh, I honestly don't know. I didn't look at this next what came into it. I've been too busy just like trying to keep up with the last one still.
Right.
Why? What? I'm sorry. Go ahead. What was that?
I'm curious, and I don't want it's a little conspiracy theory-y, but it's of my own creation. Is this something where they're just? I think like they see it at us as expendable, Pat. I think you're right, and my fear is that this capital gains tax is just gonna. Oh, nice. That Strangler Fest beer.
That's from the beer temple.
This beer is long gone from here, but it's great. It's so good. Oh, Rothaus, nice. I'm drinking. Oh, we forgot to talk about the beers we're drinking. We'll do that in a little bit.
Darn right. Yep.
My fear is that they're making it easier for people with a lot of money in, money markets and stuff like that to liquidate and buy distressed companies who are, down on their luck and.
Look, man, everyone with money is looking at this like, woo, all right.
Party time for them.
80% off sale, motherfuckers. Let's go. Of course. But that, those vultures come into every situation like this. That's nothing new.
My point being,
the capital gains thing is just some more pork that, they threw onto a bill. It's
to help
it's
them.
crazy, man.
Is my fear.
They know.
Yeah. I think you're right.
But this is, if we want to get all Bernie Sanders.
The question was
here.
For Randy, by the way.
Okay. Sorry, Randy.
No, that's right. I'm enjoying the well, actually, I'm not enjoying. No, I am enjoying the conversation. I honestly, I am not a conspiracy theorist. I am not. Right now, the bottom line is, and Pat, you said that, they're just trying to make money off us. 1% loan's not going to make money off us. And that money doesn't even go to the government. The government's paying the banks to fund these things. So there's not. Maybe the banks are making money. Maybe that's the one, and they're not. The banks weren't happy when this thing rolled out either, because there's no other than the money to fund it, to fill out the applications. They're not making money on these things.
Yeah, but that's a grant. How about those disaster relief loans? Those were at 3.5%.
Well, that's 3 3/4, 30-year amortization.
Pretty good.
I'd take that in a second.
Yeah.
Of course, but what are they getting that money at?
Oh, well, it can't be a lot lower than
any
bank, even if it's 3 3/4, it's not a lot lower.
All these banks have to make money as well. They want to make money, and even our small banks that helped us out, like our bank, we use American Community Bank. It's a manufacturing bank. They're the ones who lent us money to buy our premier brewing system, right? Those guys were on our team, made sure we had our shit together, filed right away. They know that if they got to keep us in business so we pay our loan off, right? we got to pay our shit off for them, and then if we
everyone's in this together
to
some
that
degree.
sense.
So what I'm seeing,
banks, I mean, those
Chase,
small, especially the community banks and the lending
not
banks.
Big banks, not big banks.
I'm not going to call out the banks like Ed, but yes, there are some banks that are not. But I agree with Ed completely. The small banks are bending over backwards for people right now, and that's gonna help them in the long run. And I think the big banks, like you're saying, that they're, at least from the small businesses, they're going to get hurt. Hopefully it stays that way because it's not been good. But the small banks, I've been very happy with what I'm seeing from the smaller banks out there, the community banks.
That's right. And I know a lot of business owners and manufacturers who want to change banks. And I would suggest this to all the people listening, if you run a business, is that you should go to your community bank who's not full of morons, and you should work with them. And you should move all your money there.
I want to refute something that Pat said earlier. I have to run and get it. It's going to take me. I should have just not interrupted you and let you talk for another 10 seconds while
You mean
get
it's
it.
not the last
10 seconds?
Yeah.
He never
It's not
goes
the
10
last-
seconds.
Not even. Watch. Less than 10 seconds. You can say whatever you want, Ed, for the next 8 seconds.
Okay. Well, I was just going to say, I think it's important for any small business person to understand how they were treated by their bank and make a decision to possibly move their bank. And I know several business owners that are going to do that when they can after this mess clears up in a way where they can do so.
No, I agree completely. In fact, I contacted a small bank, local bank today, just because I had so many people that were just unhappy with the bank that Ed mentioned earlier. And this guy immediately said, yeah, I'll do what I can. Send them to me. I can't promise anything, but it was a person. It was actually talking to a person than sending filling out an online form and all that. So
and waiting on the phone to be said, sorry, our lines are busy. Call back later. After you're waiting for 20 minutes.
Yep.
Yeah.
So, you said, Pat, that the city of Chicago wasn't going to give us anything?
Yeah.
Here you go. This is what I got.
What do you
That's
got?
what we got.
You gotta get your background out.
Your background's keeping us from seeing it.
Oh, stupid background.
What is it, Chris?
It is. Well, it says. I'll just read it. It's the Illinois Department of Revenue Liquor Control Commission came by and gave me a liquor compliance field inspection report, and everything was in line. Everything was looking very good. And then he told me the reason that he was there was because we had been called out, I don't know by who, for an illegal fundraiser, essentially, a charity raffle. We were raffling off one bottle of beer, all proceeds going to the out-of-work bartenders and employees here at the Beer Temple.
Unbelievable.
And they came by and
You sons of bitches.
What the fuck, man?
Yep,
Fuck,
that's what I
fine.
got from the city.
Wait a minute, you got a
guys showed up.
you got a fine?
It's at the legal department right now. They're deciding what the fine is.
So we don't know the amount yet then.
Yeah, there it
So
is.
we got the nice, yeah.
Incredible.
Yeah, I got to notice, look, we don't have any money coming in, right? Kaiser Tiger's closed, and I was told that utilities were not going to be shut off during COVID, right?
Mm-hmm.
And they aren't. But what's the one utility controlled by the city of Chicago?
Water.
It's water, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I didn't pay my water bill.
Mm-hmm.
They're not going to turn off my water, but
But your license is on hold.
they put my license on hold.
That's right. That's right.
$343.
Yep. And your license is on hold.
My license on hold. I paid it. Fucking assholes.
We had our license on hold one time for like $14 or something like that. Remember that?
Oh, yeah.
Randy?
Yeah, they don't care, but it was like motherfuckers.
I think it's all triggered automatically now. I don't think there's like some weird Byzantine maze of bureaucracy, like some dude sitting in a maze going, which asshole can I screw today? I think it's just
it was a handwritten note, by the way. No, I'm
yeah, that's common. That's very common, I think.
I mean, we did want to. I did ask a friend about if we could do a FOIA request to see who called us in to bust us. I don't know who it would have been, but so yeah, they came by and they fined me for doing a charity raffle. And I mean
Was it on Facebook?
Yeah, it was on Facebook.
That's how you got caught.
Oh yeah, of course.
Facebook has decided to crack down on every raffle as gambling. They're taking it all down.
Yeah.
Because
So,
Facebook.
right. Which, I mean, it is what it is. I just thought that it was, in light of all this sort of thing, that's what they're gonna go. They're gonna go and
That's where they
bust
spend their
us.
time.
They're going after Maui Brewing for illegally making hand sanitizer and giving it out and stuff like that. So it's, it's funny when you're trying to do stuff to help, and it's just like no good deed goes unpunished. I thought it was funny. I mean, I talked to Ashley Brandt, friend of the show, the liquor attorney extraordinaire, and he said I probably shouldn't be overly concerned with it. It's not going to be a giant fine, he doesn't think, but it's
It's a
for all you
kick
guys
in the balls.
don't.
It's a kick in the balls, is what it
It's
is.
a kick in the
Crazy.
balls.
It's
Yeah.
When you're
crazy.
down.
Yep.
When you're
Yeah.
down. It's when you're down, they kick you in the balls.
Yeah,
And it's
just
not
like
even
this
for the
hold on my
business.
license.
Right.
This hold on my license, which I had to pay because you know what? My license is up May 15th. All 3 of my city licenses that I carry at Kaiser Tiger are up May 15th. $7,500 because I got to pay for 2 years.
Yeah.
They changed that 10 years ago, probably because they had a budget gap or some shit. I don't know. So I got to pay for 2 years, $7,500 for my 3 licenses at Kaiser Tiger by May 15th. For licenses that I'm not legally allowed to even use, right? I can't have anyone in my establishments legally. So, wouldn't it make sense for the city to just go, hey, why don't we just extend your expiration date until you're legally allowed to be open? But,
Never.
right?
If
They
you're
haven't
closed
done
for
it.
2 years, they'll make you re-up again.
Yeah. Bring
I
the
mean,
task force in and, inspect you upside and down. So
Well,
I got to pay it.
Well, we're piling on here.
We are.
And a conversation I had today with my brother was about what are they going to do with taxes next year? So I don't know if you own the Kaiser Tiger building.
I do, yeah.
What do you?
Well, I mean,
how is the city going to get out of its debt and pay its pensions? Do we think the property taxes are going to go up? Are fees going to go up? Is water going to go up? Is everything going to go up? I think what the future holds, and I was saying there's no way things are going to go up, Mike. In fact, property value is going to go down.
Property values are all going to go down. There's going to be vacancies and stuff.
Yeah, but now, according to tax law, if you have a vacancy, you could write it off, and your property taxes go down when you have retail that's empty. That's the story of Bridgeport. The majority of storefronts on Halstead are empty because everyone's a fucking jagoff and wants to charge an exorbitant amount of money that no one wants to pay. And they save money by keeping them vacant because they've owned those buildings for multi-generations and they don't want their tax bill to go up. Right? So, in fact, property...
my pay grade.
Well, property owners who keep their storefronts closed get a break on their taxes.
Yeah.
Property taxes.
I've heard that. I've heard about that for a while.
Or if you're
you know
open-
that Randy the accountant doesn't seem to know.
Well,
If your storefront's closed, you're not generating revenue. So where's the benefit?
Well, what I'm saying is you're right. The strategy is to keep them closed, or if you are open, how high will those taxes be? What's your triple net going to be over the next 3 to 5 years?
So you're saying the taxes outweigh the rent that you can get from keeping it open?
I think so. In some cases, yeah. Neighborhoods, in somewhat distressed neighborhoods like Bridgeport.
Oh, good. I could see. I guess I can see that.
But I'm just saying, I guess the question is, in a Logan Square, north side where you guys are, do you feel your property taxes will go up after the crisis has been abated? That's all.
I've been getting told that. I mean, ours just went up huge, and I think ours are going to go up again.
I can't imagine that. I mean, Maybe I'm naive, but I can't imagine that.
I didn't think it was going to happen, but until my brother convinced me otherwise. He's like, "How do you think we're going to pay for all this shit, Ed?" And I'm like, "Oh." So not only are we getting hit now, we're not getting any loans or relief or fucking grants. When we reopen as small business people, or the people who are thinking about reopening, the barrier of entry increases even further, is all I was trying to say in this pile-on session we're having here.
Well, all right, let's take a little break. So go, Randy.
I was going to say, it is a pylon session, and maybe we need to go with some good news.
Or can we talk about beer after this, maybe?
Yeah.
Talk about beer.
Sure.
Yeah,
I like
exactly.
beer.
So,
what's up?
Right.
Do you have any good news, or did you just want to go on?
No, we can go to a break, and then we can talk about that after that.
All right. Why don't we take 5 minutes, go refresh our beers, and then we'll come back and talk. We'll pile on more. The pile on, table pile on. All right.
The pandemic pile on. Yeah.
Let's all come back officially in 3, 2, 1. And we're back as usual, slightly longer than 10 minutes. I had to run. I'm now on a different computer. My computer ran out of power. And without Serge or Logan to tell me what to do, it was not a pretty sight. So I had to run around and figure something out. So I'm now on a computer that has no external speakers and no camera. But, that's how we do. And I'm using Skype, which apparently is laughably outdated. So, that's just how we're doing. But let's go to, we forgot to talk about this before. What beers have people been drinking lately? What are your lockdown beers that you've been loving on, or what you're looking forward to drinking? Who wants to go first? Pat, you like talking about beer, you said, so you can't back out of this.
I do like beer. I'll in all honesty, tonight is my first night back on beer after 20 days. I had to go dry.
Wow.
So I am drinking a Schlenkerla. By the way, whatever you put this thing out on, are they seeing any of this, or is this just audio?
This will probably just be audio.
Okay, so I'm not. Why am I even showing this to the camera? Anyway,
because we can see it.
Okay. Oh yeah, for you guys, right? So Schlenkerla, Urbach. I'm drinking. I've had a few beers today. I had an Alpha King that was magnificent. Yeah, it's very good.
You would go to. Was that your first beer? That was your first beer, right?
It wasn't. I had my first beer at Kaiser this morning. I just grabbed a can of lager from Great Central.
Got it.
Then I had an Alpha King at Patty's, and now I'm having this beautiful smoked beer that tastes fantastic, and it's nice to be drinking beer again.
Nice.
Yeah, Pat, why don't you tell us what
we're
happened,
going to get to that in a second, but I want to hear has anybody else been drinking beer? I'm drinking.
Oh, yeah.
Has your drinking habits changed, Ed, at all?
You know what? I have to admit that I'm still gaming every night. Okay.
Yeah.
And my drinking habits haven't changed that much.
Okay.
Except for the fact that, since the shutdown, we've made a very concentrated effort to produce some of what we call our core beers. People call it flagship beers over at the brewery. So I'm drinking all the boogie, all the jungle boogie I want all the time. And I'm just drinking jungle boogie. I have a pale ale called Baby Shower that we put out. Baby Shower was a tribute to all the people who would host their baby showers in the tap room. We had no clue that the tap room would be booked with baby showers. And we noticed that it was happening a lot. And we're like, you know what? We need to make a tribute beer to this phenomenon. So the label has a bunch of little tiny stuffy animals with bottles, baby bottles. And it's cute, pink and light blue. But yeah, I mean, I've been drinking our core beers like Mars Beer, Ruby's Tears, Jungle Boogie, Hazy Vale, Overhaze. I'm a haze bro. I mean,
yeah.
But I gotta
You're
say,
unabashed now.
Yeah, but I gotta tell you this though, the first couple weeks, I drank like 6 to 8 fucking CBD seltzers every fucking day. And I'm now just drinking the shit out of those. That's the water I drink is a CBD seltzer.
Yeah.
And I'm not sure if it's helped me or not. I think it has because I've been relatively calm and less of a jag off than I usually am. So
Ed, what's the calories in those?
the CBD's zero.
In the CBD seltzer?
Yeah, no sugar, no calories, no caffeine. Nothing.
Wow.
How's it taste with little Tito's in there? Is it good?
I don't even rock a mixed drink. I just drink the shit. I don't even. But yeah, I think the juniper fizz with Tito's is great. I think would work well. You've tasted them. They're very, they're very floral. They're citrus or like
a
a
seltzer. Yeah, I don't remember.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I'll get you some, man. You'll love them.
Cool.
But the fucking CBD shit, is really weird. I mean, I just reach for it daily, man. It's really bizarre. Really bizarre. But at night,
when it's real, when it's time to really drink real stuff.
When I'm on my Twitch stream. Okay?
Yeah.
That's what I'm doing.
When you're gaming hard, playing Baccarat, whatever it is you're doing.
When I'm going hard on
his Baccarat Twitch stream. It's got anywhere from 0 to 1 viewer at any time.
And that's me viewing myself on my phone.
Right. Exactly.
Yeah. So when I do my live Twitch stream to myself on my phone, I'm definitely drinking Boogie, and I also drink Half Acre beer. So
yeah,
I'll just steal shit from my brother at Maria's.
Yeah. How about you, Randy?
And I said this last week or whenever it was 2 weeks ago, pretty much everything I've been drinking. Unlike Pat, I have gone not 20 days without beer. I've gone about 40 days with beer, and plenty of beer. But so two that really stand out recently to me, and I don't know if this is new into the store. So I've been going down to the Beer Temple once a week, get curbside pickup. They drop it in my back of my car. But the Bitburger Sierra Nevada collab, is that new in the store? That's awesome.
Yeah,
that is awesome.
I miss that.
I looked for it. I wasn't drinking, and I heard it was like in some stores. So I just went to Benny's to get some. There wasn't any there, but I got to get some of that. You don't have any, do you, Chris?
I just ordered some more online today.
You do?
So, yeah.
Nice.
Can you hold me a 6-pack? I'll be by tomorrow.
Yeah, we bought big on it. As soon as it came out, we bought big.
All right, I'll be there. I'll be there tomorrow.
Pat, we were just looking at it. We sold 130 cases.
Holy
of Rot House.
Oh, the Rot House.
Oh, yeah.
The Rot House. Yeah, man.
In 4 weeks.
Hell yeah, man.
That's fucking amazing, Chris.
Crazy.
Good work.
That beer's so damn good, man.
So now people are back into like German pills. So we're crushing Trumer.
Yeah.
We're doing like, maybe 10, 12 packs a week, I think, of Trumer maybe. And then we've been doing this Bitburger. So
it's awesome.
Very interesting. Yeah. I did a side-by-side Rot House and Trumer. I did a little live thing with it because I had to think. I was curious if I liked Rot House more. I'm sorry to say, Pat, you turned me on to a beer I just can't quit. Trumer is still my favorite. I still love that beer.
I mean, it's going to be a lot fresher. Or I think I had a Rot House
came in. It was like 3 weeks old.
Yeah.
Really?
Incredibly fresh.
Yeah. But anyway.
Wow. I had one in Munich, just a couple, I don't know. I don't have any sense of time anymore. Could have been a year ago, but I think it was 2 months ago.
Earlier today.
It was so good, man. Yeah.
Well, I've been drinking everything too.
Chris, I have one more I wanted to say.
Oh yeah.
Actually, I have two more I want to say now. So today I have to get out every once in a while, so I drove to the Beer Temple again and got a growler of the main dinner.
Yes,
it was really good.
I haven't had dinner.
Oh yeah,
very good.
It's very good.
That's shocking that you got a growler at the Beer Temple. I heard the owner there hates growlers.
He fucking hates growlers and is against it, and he thinks that it's the worst way of delivering beer.
It is.
Yeah.
Well, I hope you finally admit that I'm right, Chris. I hope you finally admit that I'm right. Because I am. I said from day one, I don't care. I don't care how it is for beer. Just, you got to be with the rest of us. Get rid of these laws, man, and then we can decide what's good for beer, not let the government decide. Or, God forbid, the Brewers Guild, like those ass whites know anything about anything.
Hey, man, don't speak on my behalf. I was down for fucking growlers and howlers and crawlers at retail places, but then again, that's where I came from.
Well, I certainly don't equate you with the Brewers Guild, Ed. I can't imagine that you have much pull over there.
Imagine if I got on the guild. Wow.
Oh, man, I would enjoy that.
Would you?
Yep.
All right.
Yes,
all right.
I think you should do that.
Yeah, I think I might in a year or so.
Here's what I've been drinking. I've been drinking pretty broadly. First, we got like 8-day-old Bell's Two Hearted, and that beer is, I mean, it's there's things as good as it. Nothing is better. Nothing is better than that beer at its best. It's amazing.
Tonight. Yep.
That's been great. A lot of pilsners. I've been drinking pretty widely the Hopewell portfolio. Their stuff is really good. I think it's probably even longer. Like maybe 8 months ago, they like turned a corner, man, and they're putting a lot of stuff out that's really good. Yeah, you like that's what you like. That's what you want to do with it, Ed?
I think this stuff's been really good.
I think it's great. Yeah.
No, they're making really good beer. So I've been drinking that as well. Of course, Boogie. Ed, we're doing we're doing these virtual beer tastings.
Yeah.
And here's one. Here's a good one for you guys before we get into Pat's thing. I was asking what themes people wanted to do for these virtual beer tastings, and someone came up with the idea of I'll call it, for lack of a better term, future classics. So like what beers that are out now or somewhat recently are going to be seen as classics, 10, 15, 20 years from now. What do you guys think? Why put Boogie in there, Ed?
Great. Thanks.
That was one of my guesses, was Boogie was going to be in there. So
let's put Jungle Boogie in there.
I figured a half acre too.
I said adjusting for inflation, a keg of it in 2030 will only cost $700.
Yeah, that's true. Except for our COVID-19 pricing for kegs.
That's right, baby.
Yeah. Talk about fire sale. But you know what? That's great to hear, Chris. Thanks. I actually just posted today a picture of a Jungle Boogie case from like 4 years ago when it was like 500 milliliter bottles.
Yep.
And I just posted the beer that built our brewery. So nice. It's nice to hear you say that. Thanks.
That beer is amazing. Any others? I mean, are there any new beers
Chug
that have
Life.
come out?
Chug Life. Chug Life, man. Mars Chug Life will be remembered as a legendary homage to the champagne of beers. It'll be like the meta remembered classic.
Okay. Well, let me ask you, Ed.
Just joking.
Ed, will there be any beers not made by Mars that will be considered classics in the future?
No.
No, I don't think so. But do we already consider Alpha King a classic and Daisy Cutter a classic?
But those beers, Daisy Cutter's 10 years old, and Alpha King's like 20 years old, dude.
Yeah. I mean, so future classics from like now. Well, I got to tell you, Microphone's latest triple fucking hazy pastry juice with a cookie crumbled into each bottle. What is that called? Smells like Gene's Spirit. I think that would not be one.
Is that true? They're really crumbling cookies into it?
I hope so.
Okay.
But what? Let me think about
Zing.
This. Oh, Dovetail's fucking one of the Dovetail.
Yeah.
Dovetail Lager, yeah. I would say Dovetail Lager.
Yeah, that's a good one.
For sure. Yeah.
What about Hammerheart stuff? Do you think Hammerheart stuff is going to be looked at, remembered kindly?
No.
No, they're
I don't know
really
who that
good.
is.
But
Me
Kings,
neither.
You don't know Hammerheart, Pat?
No.
you'll
Dude,
love their beer,
all
man.
smoke.
All
smoke
smoke.
beer.
You'll love it, man. Because
Where,
lot
like,
of
do
people
they?
don't know-
Minnesota, I think.
a lot of
Yeah, I
people
was gonna
don't-
say, are they some tiny beer that I can't order at my bar that I don't know who they are? Like,
It's
you know,
special,
Get it
it's
here.
special order. It does come into Chicago.
Yeah.
They're making
Who?
really, really, really subtle and really well-made smoked beers,
And extreme ones too. I mean, let's.
and extreme ones too.
yeah, I can't wait to try them, but no, I haven't had them.
That's
Yeah.
amazing, Pat. I think
Hey,
you're
can I-
gonna love these guys.
Can I jump in again?
Yeah, please.
Kings and Convicts, new collab, or Convict and Kings, Spelpin. It's like old Sculpin. It's Sculpin, but made with, it's like a spelt beer. Spelpin.
Belt pins.
Spelpin. And it's like a beer that you use. You break
Is it
the
gluten free?
you break the fucking bottle and you fucking shiv someone in your jail cell with that fucking thing. It's gonna be a classic. Of course, it's gluten free
So
But
Chris,
for real,
and
I'm
fucking
in there.
kosher.
That's the thing.
And fucking kosher.
are there any beers that have come out in the past 2 years, let's say? So even like Boogie wouldn't count, that you think are going to be looked at as classics. I think maybe Half Acre Bodum could be in that boat.
No one's gonna remember that name though. But yeah, that beer could be one.
Bodum's going to be, yeah.
can't-
I don't
I
know.
can't
It's very
remember.
good.
I can't remember
It
the
is very
name
good.
Bodum. They need a better name for that beer. Bodum as a new name will be a classic in the future.
so Chris,
Sorry.
is it
Sorry.
is it
Sorry,
going to be
guys.
all? No, I agree, but I like that beer. Is it going to be all Chicago beers in this?
Yeah,
apparently.
It's only going to be Chicago beers
Yeah.
known as classics.
That's all we know.
Like
That's all we know.
in 20 years, when the
I said
podcast,
Hammerheart.
when
All
the
right.
pod,
Yeah, they didn't know it.
when podcasts are just beamed into your tooth.
Right.
20 years from now, when podcasts are beamed in from your tooth, a classic beer from anywhere. Shit, man. Maybe those Florida Weisses, man.
Oh, you know what? What about the Denver slow pour pills? Slow pour pills, I think, will be
Bierstadt?
slow pour
Bierstadt,
pills
yeah.
will be considered a classic.
Is that only 2 years old?
I don't know. Might be. It's older than that, but
Probably
Older than
older, yeah.
I don't know, man. Yeah.
Well, hey, let me just segue here, even though
Segue.
Randy hasn't suggested one yet. Randy, you got one?
No, I was going to say Daisy Cutter, but then I got cut off because it was
Yeah,
10 years old. I was going to say, I love the.
It's new to me. Daisy Cutter, I just got it. I just picked it up. It's fucking good.
Jungle Boogie was going to be on my list. I was talking to my wife about it today.
Disqualified.
I said Jungle Boogie would be on there.
Disqualified.
But it was actually, I was having fun trying to guess what beers would be in this tasting this week. So
a couple of them have been mentioned.
Dovetail.
That was high in the running. I won't say whether it's in or not.
All right. Jungle Boogie for sure. Daisy Cutter, but that's old. But I mean, but still, that's a great
Bodum's
beer.
fine. We could put Bodum in there.
Bodum
No,
for
no,
sure.
no, no,
Bodum
no.
Bodum I could see for
No.
sure being on there.
Chris, what is
What?
the beer that I was not allowed to have from Lee?
Dude, Vim.
Vim.
That
Vim
beer is
will be a
amazing.
legendary beer. Like you'll hear whispers.
But they only
of it.
made it once.
You have whispers of it, but it'll be like a legendary beer that
Right.
you will talk about. Did you have that beer ever in your life? Oh, sorry. It'll definitely be an Instagrammable moment for you when you use your tooth to fucking post to people's brains. I drank this 20 years ago. You didn't. Haha, I'm special.
Just like PBR coffee.
So
So the one
Pat.
beer before
Yeah.
you go, Chris, the one beer I'm really looking forward to having, and I've never had it before at Pat's place, is the Pilsner Quell. That's a new beer, right?
Oh yeah, that's
oh yeah.
the new bottle. You mean the plastic
Yeah,
bottles?
yeah, Pat, you get the tanks in or whatever. I've never gone.
Yeah.
I'd love to go to that.
Man, that's so funny. You know, my
Yeah.
bartender today, because I was at Patty's, and Albie's like, "Hey, are we getting any of that unfiltered Pilsner soon?" I'm like,
Shut up.
Oh,
That
He
is
was
awesome.
just-
Tyson about that.
I know. Don't remind me, man. I was there. You know, I was there. I don't know. was it a year ago or maybe a month? I don't know. I can't remember.
It's beautiful, man.
But I was there in February, late February, and it was mind blowing.
Wait,
Or was it January? I don't.
You were in Prague? Is that what you're saying? Where were
Yeah,
you?
I was at Pilsner Kell in the cellars, drinking out of the fucking wooden vat, the whole thing. Yeah.
Awesome. My favorite trip. I've been to a lot of places, but my favorite trip ever was Prague and drinking that Pilsner Quell out of the tank at all these places out there.
I've heard that's high up on a lot of people's lists, man.
That was amazing. Well, no, coming to you.
Are you sure you didn't go to Prague for the casinos and the hookers? Come on.
I was with my whole family, so.
Oh, so you did go see the hookers then?
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, great. No, but you're right. That cellar is the most mind-blowing experience on earth. And did you watch? And those videos of those fucking guys rolling the giant fucking beer barrels? It's just like, what? You're gonna die. Miles and miles of tunnels. It's just
literally miles.
Insane.
Literally miles.
Yeah, it's my Vatican, man. It's like my that's my Mecca.
Like
I don't mind getting blasphemous about it at all.
I imagine you, Pat, being like, is it? Oh my God, what's his name? The guy from Strange Brew, Rick Moranis. At the end of Strange Brew, when he's just
when he drinks the whole thing,
he drinks the whole tank.
I got a pee so bad I can taste it.
Yeah, and he burps and blows the door off.
Yeah, that was me, man. I'll tell you, we got the VIP treatment, so that meant I got like an hour and a half to drink as much as I could. And oh my God, dude, you should have seen me, man. It was like a frat video. I mean, I was
How did it taste
pounded.
compared to the stuff that at its best that you pour? Like when it comes in, there's the fresh stuff, and then there's like the super fresh stuff.
Yeah, it was somehow better. Somehow better.
Really?
So, like, here's the thing with it: it's so drinkable, and that's what they care about. They care about drinkability. And every beer, you get your fill, right?
Yeah.
You do. It doesn't matter what the beer is. And some you get it earlier than others. With this beer, you cannot get your fill. You can always have another.
Yeah.
And that was the difference for me.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, I couldn't have enough of it.
Pat, can I say something?
Sure.
Let's say we get out of this, all right?
All right.
You and I are going to buy one of those fucking giant fucking vats and ship it here.
And do what with it?
And just serve it. just order a fucking giant barrel of that. Can we do that, please? Even if it tastes
just
like
say
shit.
Yes.
Even if it tastes like shit. Let's just we'll get a refrigerated fucking cargo space for it. Ship it.
We're gonna
put it in your fucking patio at Kaiser.
We're gonna put it in the curling court and freeze it, and then thaw it, and then drink it.
Yes,
Eisbach.
Yeah.
Pilsner Urquell Eisbach.
I think my kids are upstairs, like, what the hell is Dad fucking screaming at his computer screen about?
I was reading about that beer. They're saying there's a good chance that the how light it is might have been a mistake because they were experimenting with some like German malting techniques, and they think they probably didn't malt it enough, and it was just like, well, we got to brew this beer, and that's why it was so damn light. So it's kind of interesting that it could have been a mistake because there'd never been like a clear beer like that, they say. I mean, a lot of people forget that was likely the first pale golden lager ever made.
Yeah. Yeah.
Which is crazy.
Yeah.
All right. So, Pat, something that it's criminal that this story got buried. But we knew, you and I and other people who were on the show, you obviously knew, you were thinking about doing this for a while, which is your Lenten beer fast. You told me about this, and you were a little. So tell me, just for people who may not know out there, just start the story. Tell them about your beer fast.
Okay. Well, let me start by saying that there was a traditional beer fast that was done by the Bavarian monks at the Paul Lanner Brewery in Bavaria during Lent. This is about the 17th, 18th century, and they would abstain from food throughout Lent and subsist only on beer. And they obviously brewed their own beer and brewed a beer for this fast that we now know today as Salvatore, or really the modern Doppelbock style is from this. So the story or legend always went
named
that,
after the salvation, right? Named after God. Yeah.
Well, Salvatore literally means shit. I don't want to get it wrong.
Salvation.
No, it literally means like the Holy Father of. I don't remember. Anyway, yeah, I don't know.
Okay.
I've had a few today. I'll have to look it up. But so anyway,
it is a Latin word meaning savior.
I think it means savior. Yeah.
Yeah.
Salvatore. I'll Google it while I.
Anyway, go on.
So I've always known about this, and it's always intrigued me, and I always thought, oh, that sounds like fun. That's living on beer, nothing but beer for 40 days. It must be a nice party, right? And then a guy last year did it and survived, and not only that, he lost a bunch of weight and lowered his cholesterol and lowered his blood pressure and all this. And so I was like, oh, this is a good thing. I'm going to do it, and I talked it up for about a year, and then I mapped out 40 days where I could do it, and then I did it. But unfortunately, the last 10 days of it were the shutdown, right? And so while being half drunk and starving, I shut down my 2 businesses and went through all of the shit that everyone else went through. And I'm not complaining. It was we all went through it. And I thought about immediately I was like, I should stop doing this. This is stupid. I mean, it was stupid from the get-go. It was just it was a publicity stunt plus a historical reenactment by a beer dork. Me.
Historical reenactment. I love it.
Yes. I mean, I was reenacting what these monks did, and just a stupid thing to do. Just as I do stupid shit, and I immediately thought, I got to stop this. But I was 30 days in, man. I was 30 days in. The first 10 days were hard as shit. I mean, it was terrible. And then it got a little easier. By 30 days, man, it's like, this is no problem, like
really?
You're in a groove. Yeah. You're in a total groove, and you can do it, and it's like, is COVID going to take away my businesses and, my stupid Barnum and Bailey fucking publicity stunt? No, I did, so I kept it going.
Take my business.
Yeah, so just take my businesses, not my stupid spirit. And so I kept it up, man, and I finished it, and then the end. It did get hard. Like the last 5 days were tough, and I was they weren't tough. Like at that point, you're just like, I don't know. It's a whole different state, man. It's like I'll have to write a blog post about it. I've been meaning to. I just haven't been able to not make it incredibly depressing. So I haven't thrown it out there yet. But I will. And but shit got weird at the end, and you're I don't know. Your mind goes in weird places, and you're hungry and drunk all the time, and it was weird. It would have been a lot easier if everything was going smooth at the end, but it got weird and hard, and I don't know, man. I don't know how to explain it really.
I remember
I think you were seeing God in those last 10 days, Pat.
Oh yeah. Well, I think I was seeing. I think it was the devil I was seeing.
Yeah.
I don't know if it was God.
One and the same.
Can't have one without the other.
I remember you saying, like, I talked to you, I think, a week before the shutdown stuff started, so the end was in sight for you. And
I think I saw you on parade day, man. I saw you on parade day 2 days before the shutdown.
Yeah, but we talked about it, I think, a week before that.
Yeah.
At the beer temple.
Okay.
And you were drinking a beer. And you were buying some beer. I think you bought some Orval. You were buying some Belgian stuff.
Oh,
maybe.
Yeah, sure. Yeah.
And you were saying it was I don't want to say like meditative, but you were saying it was like very mental at the time. You were in a state where you were saying it put you in a very interesting mindset, which you did not expect.
No,
right?
Yeah, that's absolutely true. I mean, I didn't do it for meditative purposes. The monks did, right? You know, the monks did this to get closer to God, to experience the sacrifice that Jesus made during the, his 40 days in the desert and all that kind of thing, right? So I wasn't doing it for that. I was, but that kind of stuff.
You're doing it for even more noble reason, which is publicity.
That's right.
Yeah.
Publicity. And a more, yes. I mean, I'm not going to deny that.
I'm just kidding.
But in a morbid curiosity of whether or not it was humanly possible, and just love, and my love of beer, I don't know, man. I don't know why I did it. It was.
It's through a true love of beer, and it's through a true kind of like your reenactment and your homage to kind of historical way of like using beer as a vessel to reach a kind of higher consciousness or whatever consciousness is fucking amazing, dude.
Awesome. I feel like that was a added bonus. I mean, I literally think my main reason was I just wanted to be able to say for the rest of my life that, I lived on fucking beer for 40 days,
I mean, you're one of only, like,
it's a conversation starter.
Yeah. You're one of only, like, 3 verified people to do it in modern times, right?
Maybe. Yeah, maybe. I've only found 2 others. Yeah. Maybe.
Yeah, I heard like about well before you'd ever done it. I was looking up whether it was like real or not, because there's always these things like, oh, the monks didn't really do it. That's just a legend and stuff like that. And then I remember hearing about like 1 or 2 other people having done it. But even those were like, the first one was, I think the guy said he did it kind of thing, but he probably did. And then another guy, I think, was a little bit more public. He was, I think...
this guy, Dell, in Cincinnati, who I still haven't met. We had a big event planned together this year, a couple of weeks into the whatever. And but he did it last year, and he's the guy where when that article came out, it was something that was in my mind forever. But when that came out and I was, telling all of my friends about it, that I, and thought that I could do it. And they were all like, no, you're fucking nuts. You can't do that. That's what really put it in my head that I had to do it, And so he did it again this year. He did 50 days, and he did it really during Lent. So he was even more into the shutdown than I was. He lost his job. He worked for 350 Brewing in Cincinnati, and obviously lost all of his promotion surrounding it. And but he did 50 days. Crazy.
Wow.
He's a legend, fucking legend. Dell.
This might be the new polar bear dip for beer drinkers.
Here's the thing, and for people listening to this and watching this is not anything I recommend, and it's not a diet. Everyone calls it a diet. It's a fast. It is a challenge. It is something that will actually not be good for you. It's like climbing Mount Kilimanjaro or climbing Mount Everest. You will, if you're not prepared for it, you will die, you know? And that's what this is. And I just a footnote to what happened to me, you know, so I closed the bars. I'm on this diet. I'm too stupid to get off of it. And I went way over my 4 beer a day limit, right? So during this fast, I was doing 4 beers a day. I was on a regimented thing where I took my vitamins and I had my waters and I did all this stuff and had 4 beers spaced out throughout the day, right? Well, that wasn't the case the last fucking 10 days of this thing during this COVID thing. I mean, I was a mess. Yeah. And needless to say, you know, I didn't think I was going to get my final numbers from my doctor because of the COVID shutdown. But then like a week after I was done with it, she called and she's like, look, I really want to get these numbers. Come in. We're going to take some blood. And when those results came back, I had some really elevated liver enzyme numbers. Wow. Basically, my liver was saying, hey, you know, chill out or you're going to scar me. So then I had to stop drinking altogether for 20 days. And the timing on this whole thing has been terrible, you know. The quarantine thing, obviously, everyone's drinking more. And then suddenly I'm not drinking at all.
I know, it's crazy.
It's fucking... I'm not a smart man, Chris. I don't know what to tell you.
But you're healthy. You know, you're okay though.
Yeah, I'm totally fine. I got tested yesterday. My blood work came back. I'm having beers today because everything's good. You know, it wasn't like, and I wasn't in any danger. I don't want to say that, but my enzyme levels were at a point where, you know, the doctor's like, look, you drink for a living. You want to drink the rest of your life. You need to stop drinking for 2 weeks. Otherwise you're going to scar your liver, you know?
Right. Just let it chill out. And it was because you started going over the 4 a day?
Maybe. Because I got tested 20 days in and they were higher, but they weren't terrible.
Yeah.
You know? And then, of course, when I started eating again, my drinking probably went even further through the roof. And then it was a week later that I got tested. So I don't know. Either way, it's not like, again, my point being, this is not, and yes, I lost 30 something, 30, I don't remember, 34 pounds or something. There's better, smarter ways to lose 34 pounds.
I don't think you have to convince people very hard not to do this, Pat. I don't think there's too much concern
you're fine. You're fine.
You don't know your audience.
I will not betray this.
God.
You don't know the people that would tune into this thing. They're ready to go on a beer diet.
This is the best time to do it. This is the best time to fucking do this diet.
Probably.
All right. Well, we should probably wrap it up. Thank you guys, as always, for just coming on and doing this and talking about this crazy ass industry, especially right now. It's interesting, kind of like last time. I'm curious to go back and listen to these. It'll be interesting to hear about, because the 2 weeks ago it was a lot about just the emotional roller coaster of when this thing started, and then kind of the optimism. And now I think things are getting a little more dire. I mean, a brewery closed. I don't think they're going to be the last one to close. I'm glad that you guys came on and we can still joke about, Pat's publicity stunt failing hard in the last 10 days.
That shit would have been viral, Chris. That would have been a worldwide story, man.
I got a fucking Sun Times article out of that in the middle of COVID. That would have been a giant story, dude.
Jimmy Kimmel, you would have been on everything.
I would have been everywhere, man.
Yeah.
I know. Oh, well.
I know, man.
Yeah.
Brilliant.
Everyone's like, just do it again next year. I'm like, fuck that.
You do it again next year.
Never again.
You definitely got to write about it, buddy. You got to write about it now.
I know, I do. I'm in a bad place. I don't want to write about it right now, you know? Like, I don't want to put something out that's fucking doom and gloom.
Well,
right.
Yeah. Get an editor. You can edit.
I guess I just did. Do people really listen to this podcast, Chris? Fuck. I thought
You
this
say
was,
that all
you
the
know?
time.
I know. Shit.
They're
All right.
watching. They're watching the blind tasting more than they're listening to the podcast.
All right, good. Yeah, I am too. I've watched a lot more of that than I have ever listened to this podcast.
Yeah,
That's funny.
even more so than you've been on it.
Oh,
Right.
Indeed, I've never listened to any of them that I've been on. No.
Yeah. Well, it's good to
people
see
like
you
those
guys.
blind-
Hey,
those
you
blind
know,
tasting.
Chris, you got to keep doing this because I feel really good. I feel really great hanging out with you guys and seeing you guys, and even if it's just over the fucking Zoom jam or whatever the fuck this is, Skype.
We'll do it on Twitch next time.
I mean, yeah, let's actually try to do it.
Live.
But I really, we'll have someone at the studio turning on the Twitch, monitoring the dump button. But I think we could do that. But I just got to
curse
say,
on Twitch, can't you?
no, we're going to broadcast from Twitch and then live over the air, dude.
Oh, got it.
Yeah, it's like a double live freak out. But yeah, thanks, Chris. This is exactly what you started the show for, and we're still doing it despite it all. And I'm happy to hang out with you guys and talk about this shit with some of my peers and friends about what the fuck's going on. So thank you so much for doing this show, Chris.
Yep. Well, good luck to anyone, to everyone. Hey, since this isn't going over the airwaves right now, are there any plugs that people want to do?
You know, I can plug some shit. We're gonna.
I bet you could.
Yeah, I mean, I just really want to know. I think in the future when you do these shows, I really want to know what everyone's doing out there. I want to know strategies for surviving during this new normal. I want people to hit me up or email me and tell me their stories, and I want to be able to amplify them as well. So if you're listening and you're involved in the industry, what's happening? What can we do? What are some best practices? It's wacky all over the place. There's states where people are allowed to go into restaurants and bars starting Monday. I mean, what is that going to do to you? How are you feeling about your staff? Are you freaking out? Like, what do we do? What are we going to fucking do? Let us know. Email Chris at Insiders Roundtable at what?
It's insiders@craftbeertemple.com.
Yeah, or hit me up, find me on marsbrewing.com and find my fucking email if you actually give a shit. But yeah, I want to know because it's fucked. There's 7,500 of us, and they're saying 60% of us are going under by summer. What the fuck are we going to do?
Yeah.
That is bananas.
All right. Anyway, sorry about that. But yeah,
crazy.
I hope everyone stays healthy and take care of themselves.
I'd like to plug. I just made a deal with Tony Rosimano from Local Option. I've got 80 growlers coming to Patty Long's, so you can buy some growlers at Patty Long's, 32 ounce amber.
Okay. When?
I just bought a sleeve, apparently. 80 growlers. Tomorrow.
Oh,
Pick
fuck.
them up tomorrow.
Okay.
So no,
What
you
day
can
you hear this?
you can order from Patty Long's Wednesday through Sunday,
Okay.
4 p.m. to 9 p.m.
Okay.
And we might go to 7 days a week next week.
Awesome.
Because we got this PPP loan and I might as well spend it on my employees.
Yep.
So we are, so we might expand our hours and go to 7 days a week starting next week, but we are doing delivery, and that includes growlers and food and even some bottles of liquor if you're so inclined.
Mm-hmm.
That's my plug.
Randy,
Yeah.
anything you want to say?
Well, and you get Pat delivering to your house, which is nice. So,
Yeah.
so
You might. It's probably
if you're
going to be
lucky.
out. Yeah. Lucky.
Uh,
1 in 20.
well, for plugging, I'm going to plug Beer Temple. I mean, I think, and I have not been there, and I've been there for curbside pickup, but I haven't been in the place in
Good for you.
6 weeks. Oh, I'm a 2-day a weeker there. I
good
was
for
there
you.
today, and I go there on Fridays, and I'm all my neighbors. I'm telling them I'm going down to the Beer Temple. I'm
Yeah,
going
he
to pick up
is.
some beer. If anybody wants
True.
anything, let me know, and I'll take the orders, and I'll leave them in my car. They tell me when they're coming. I'll open the trunk, and they'll go and grab the beers. But really, I mean, what I'd like to plug is the way Chris has handled this. Yeah, he has done a great job at managing the business, at figuring out how to continue to generate revenue through this, how to keep people at least part-time employed through this. And so I think it's been amazing the way that we've been able to at least, survive during this time. And so, all kudos to Chris and the employees at the Beer Temple. So I appreciate
Definitely
that.
a team effort.
Yep.
It's a team effort. I'm sure everybody has their team. We talked about it last time on the last show. It's everyone's just doing their part, and as I said 2 weeks ago, Randy, you're playing a hugely important role as well, and no one could do it without everyone else. And I think that's what we're realizing here as a community. You're seeing it here as in a business in a much smaller sense, but we all rely on each other, man. We all need each other. We need the people to come in. We need our, the companies that help clean our place. We need the people who support our draft lines. We need our employees. We need our reps to tell us about the good beer. We know, all that stuff is so vital. And you realize that, how just well everybody works together, man. So I appreciate you saying that. That means a lot, and I want to kind of echo that back out to everybody. So that's a nice positive note to end it on. But thank you guys. Thanks Pat and Randy and Ed. And we will see you next time on Twitch, I suppose, in a week.
Let's do it.
So
let's do it.
Yeah, man.
We'll figure it out. It
Okay.
out.
Can't wait to have a beer with you guys in person.
All right.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Right on,
Yeah.
man.
Cheers.
All
y'all.
right, love you guys.
Cheers.
I love
man.
y'all too. Yep.
Yeah.
All right.
All right,
See ya.
good night. Bye-bye.
Good night. Bye.
Remember this is what we wanted. Remember this is what we said. To never be heard or seen from again. Remember this is what we wanted. Remember this is what we said. To never be heard or seen from again. Remember this is what we wanted. Remember this is what we said. To never be heard or seen from again.